All right, everyone. So it's a little special episode today where I've got Ed over at Don't Think Don't Charge, man. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh man, thank you. So just to put you in a little catch you all up, we are going to be playing some Age of Fantasy Regiments. We're going to be modifying the rules just a little bit. And what we're going to be doing is playing part of War Boss Fist's campaign, where we've got the elves. I think we're going to try to do something, and I'll be putting a kind of a little bat rep afterwards, where we're going to have sort of like the humans fighting the Chaos Warriors get ambushed by some elves because they are crossing on their land. And so I don't think the elves are the bad guys in this case. They're just sort of, hey, get off our land, but this is also sort of, causing some bigger problems. So
Yeah, elves are never bad guys.
yeah. So that's sort of the way we're thinking. But while we're doing it, we're going to do like a little impromptu sort of advertisement, sort of tutorial-ish about what Universal Battles is. So Universal Battles is sort of it's a tabletop simulator, but it's a really, I would say like this, it's a really like toned down one. Something like I'm playing on a little app, Ed's just playing online. So right now we're just building our troops. I'm going to go into more of a tutorial later, but just to get you a little feel for the system, how we've already set up the board. We basically just went to the map. We just loaded a pre-built board. So you just hit load, and now we're just adding in our troops here. And that's just by using this little cross circles here. And so I've already built our troops. Ed is building his army. I have another tutorial, but basically, Ed, you basically just showed up here and we're just like, oh, I'm going to build an army. And I was going to show you, and he just did it. So there you go. It's that easy.
I've always been of the opinion you just start clicking around. You just like kind of, you just start doing stuff, and it'll work its way out.
And
break the whole thing and have to start again, or something will work.
Well, I think that's really cool because it's funny. We're like, oh, I'm going to do this tutorial, and we're going to like also, but it turns out that like the system is so intuitive that you can just walk in here and Ed has basically, without showing him, he's just searched for wood elves, I guess, and just said, okay, I'm going to build a wood elf army, and he did. So I think that's good to show
Definitely.
It's a system. I love tabletop simulator, Ed, but like this, one thing I like about this one as well is that it's really easy on your system. Like when you're playing a game like Regiments that is a lot more units, tabletop simulator can sort of chug. And as well, this is a game that, especially after we're playing Regiments, is sort of designed wholesale for here. So this is my Kings of War army. So I'm actually just changing this for spears. But if you want to in this thing, you can actually go and set up. So I can be like quality, 5. Yeah, 5, and you can say counter. In fact, I can even actually use a way here. I can actually have this appear on the. In fact, I'll do this real fast. Let me just grab this where I'm like sword shield. There's a simple way that you can basically build sort of like a markdown to actually put these things on your thing so that an opponent can always see it. Let me just do this real fast, and I'm gonna.
Do you click it, or do you just hover over and it appears?
Yeah. So there's actual. Okay, let me do it this way. I'm gonna save this, and then you can actually go on some of these things. There's a label section where you can click and look. It actually shows the labels on here. Yeah. So while Ed is setting up his system, I just took a screenshot. The markdown system is pretty easy in this game. Let me just pull, and I'll get that screenshot, and I'll just do it. And this is like a real quick tutorial where I'm just going to grab this markdown here and then I'll show that one here just while we have them on here. So again, this is just the Kings of War stats that I'm going to delete. I'm just going to go wound equals 0 because in this game you can track wounds, and then I'm just going to go sword here 4. So this is a quality 5 and then it's a defense. So that's the shield icon of 5. You could get really fancy with it as well. I'm just going to set this one as the tutorial goes. And then this is a 10-man spears. So we'll save and show things. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, there you go. But you can basically do this. I think I need to... Where was it at? Here?
I've come across one thing that I can't quite figure out. Do you know how to change the side? Because I've got 2 big tree dudes, and I can see we have dryads, but no kind of monstrous tree units. Is there a way to
Oh, yeah.
put a dryad on and then change the size of it?
So you want to get like a bigger treeman?
Yeah, if I just put them on the board, so they're in the middle now.
Yeah, show me what you got here.
2 dryads, so yeah, these 2 kind of nearer the middle. I just need to make those like 50 meters or something.
You could, but I would just go here, and I would just go into the armies. Just go search for like Sylvans. I'm just gonna search for like wood elf. Look, here's a tree herder. Look at that. So you can actually, as you're doing this, you could just literally go across. Look, this is a 50 by 50. So I'm just gonna clone it to my army. I'll clone it to my Kings of War for now. So this is just my Kingdoms of Men army. And then here, because it's in there, I'm just going to go. So this is now in my Kings of Men. And look, there it is. And I'm just going to drop it in. Boink.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Do you need a second one or something? Or
I have 2 in my list. I'm just looking. It might be a pro feature. Yeah.
There you go.
Do you have pro?
Yeah, I have pro. So that's the thing we were just going to set. Let me actually, I need to hand you.
Way I can add these into my army.
Oh, yeah, you can't, but what I'm going to do is give you access to, so Pagoda, my private message here. How do I give you, yeah, you would need to add these. Can you, I thought you could just drop them on. Change army. Oh, just set as main army. Oh, that's right. You don't actually have to add it to your, you can just set your army as your main army. This would just change your army in here. So if you want to search for like Sylvans or search for like wood elves.
Yeah, all of the search ones come up as pro, and then it doesn't let me add them in.
Oh, you're pro. Okay. How about the simple ones? Don't they have... Do they have...
It seems a little bit limited. Unless, yeah, maybe there's something in those.
There's wood elves. Yeah, in the 9th Age, they should have a wood elves in here. I thought. Sylvan elves? And then in here... Dryad, Ancient, or maybe an Avatar. Here's a...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I'm on pro, but just so y'all know, they have a ton of free armies. So all like, I think basically all the main armies for like the 9th Age, or you can pretty much find in here for free and just grab models here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So there was one thing I needed explaining.
Yeah. Yeah, like the pro is super cheap. I think it comes out to like $2 or $3 a month. I'm on a pro because I like it, because I like to support it. But you can easily play this game for free and like never spend a dime on this.
Yeah,
I like pro because you can build your own custom armies and then you can just pull it in. Yeah, perfect. There you go. And you can actually just change the name by clicking on your guys. There's a little I button here that you can just click on.
Yeah.
I need to find out. I'm going to actually look into this. I know that does work. I think you do have to do something else. What does it say here? Simple. Oh, I need to add the stat blocks. That's what I didn't do. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the markdown quality of it. Is that what it was? Me not paying attention. Yeah. Okay. Save. And then show. Hey, look. So look, my spears have actually, when we turn on the labels, you can see it's got a quality of 5 and depth of 5. So you can see here. So like you can get really fancy. I mean, we're just going to keep it here, but you can like really do a lot of what other systems do. It's just like it's not like as comprehensive as Tabletop Simulator, but I love the fact that like Ed just came in here. It's like, oh, I'll create an army. Okay, there we go, done. It's like
I had to do a lot of googling when I first got started with Tabletop Simulator.
yeah.
There's a little bit to that, definitely.
So the other thing is that every time you move a model, so it's always calculating inches. You can just see here.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is on every one, you can turn on this locks the objectives. So this one automatically always moves in a corner. And when you pivot, so again, this does your pivots like this, it'll automatically move that way. So it's again, this game is sort of specifically designed for rank and flank. You can do some other things. So in this one as well, it's really good. They've got an activation system. So after I move a model, I can then click the check mark and it's noticed as activated. So like in a sort of I go, you go, in a alternate activations, it's very easy. You don't have to do dice. You can just click on here. Okay, this one went.
Yeah.
This one went. And so it's very easy for us to keep track of between alternate. And I think that there's just a clear button here that lets you just like clear everything. Or it's just, I know there's a button you can press that can just clear everything. I forgot it here. We'll just do that. Or you can just, I think you can just select them all and then just go clear. There you go. All right, and then there's the undos here as well. So yeah, I think we're just gonna start setting up a game. While we're doing so you can certainly use that, but we also have these activations. So here I'm just gonna grab some 12 inchers. And just set these up here. Now by default, you can set it up a little differently, but basically by default, he can grab his models and then I can grab mine. So that way there's no, moving someone else's models here. All right. Whenever you take wounds as well, you just add wounds. So here, so what we're doing here is that you can do individual models. We're going to be modifying the Age of Fantasy Regiments to sort of just track the wounds as a whole. We're playing around with Age of Fantasy Regiments, and this is one of our sort of kind of one of those features that just make it a little simpler, where you just track the number of models, and then once they're dead, you just delete the entire unit. So yeah, that's just us doing our little wound tracker here.
That's how we're going to do it today then, yeah?
I think so. I wanted to see as well, we're trying to experiment on some Age of Fantasy Regiments rules, one of which is we'd like to try to do where you get the charge. So the way charges work here is that you can pivot any time during the charge rather than just like once, and then maybe try the 45-degree arcs now. And so here there's this button that you can press that can automatically just show you where the arcs are. And just so you know,
cool.
Yeah, and you can also, by the way, use your mouse wheel and you can zoom in. This is very accurate because you can just really zoom in and just really get exactly what you need to do. I think there's even one where you can even set the wheels. So you can do different wheel styles. So for us, we're just using the center wheel, but like if you wanted to, you could go like the wheel like they do in Old World, where it tracks. Because remember, in Old World, you actually have to track your wheel by a corner, so it actually tracks that as well. So you could, you don't have to use this for, that's the cool thing is like all of this is designed for a lot of rank and flankers as well. All right.
Yeah.
So what we can do is I'm just going to grab all my models here. Let me just go and change them. So this is my peasants. I'm just going to put label on them. So this is the peasants. Delete that. And then we've got some bowmen. So these are the archers. They do have the Pierce 1. And then I've got the foot guard. So these are my, in my army list, these are going to be, we'll post the armies later, but these are going to be the foot knights with great weapons. So just put that over here. Foot knights with great weapons. And that's them too. But just just delete that.
Next question then. Is there a way to lock things as a unit? Because I've got them where I'm kind of dragging to select now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't rename them all as a group.
So there should be this little button. It allows you to move an entire unit by clicking anywhere on it. Do you have this? Click.
Yes.
Does
So if Oh yeah, that's done it. Awesome. Now
Yep.
I can just change the name of that unit as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So that way you can do. We've got some spears, Pegasus Knights, and then I've got some Grail Knights. Perfect. I think that's my army, and then I've got this guy who's my mage in this one. So, and that's the great thing is that you can so easily just change an existing army. This is my Realm Defender. It's Caster 2, so she's Caster 2. All right. And I think that's all mine. Yeah. Okay. So here I'm just going to grab my units, start sort of moving them to the side, and then we can start. You can actually, so we're going to grab these, do this, boink. And I guess for us, you can just literally tack on one of your units, your heroes here, and then you can just you can just select them both. I think there is a way you can group them. I forgot. Oh, that's fine. You just have to select them. So heroes, I do know there's a specific thing you can do to lock, but I've got one of my heroes riding in my Grail Knights. All right. Just going to move this to the side, and then we can start our...
Cool. I am just renaming all of mine.
And just so you know here, what's going to happen is you'll notice that Ed is on the top, and maybe that's a little disconcerting for him to play, but you can actually go to the terrain, and suppose you're playing at the top, but you want to see like you're playing at the bottom. You can actually just flip this thing and look. So for Ed, if he wanted to, he could go here, flip it, and then he is seeing things like he's playing from the bottom. So
that was good.
Yeah, it's just
so awesome.
He's just a little so for Ed, just so you know, I'm showing my screen. Ed, by clicking this little button, he's actually seeing it like this. It's just a really nice little quality of life thing that he doesn't have to do. Yeah. There's also tons of we'll go to here. There's a lot of in the tools section here, you can go to various. So we're going to be using the 3-inch. So these are the objectives, right? It's automatically 3 inches. We're just going to go and add that in. You've got a natural field of view. You've got flamers. We can also add things like spell tokens. So I'm just going to go to various, and you can just grab. We have timers in here, but you can also just grab something like a spell token. So we'll just use these little circles as spell tokens or something. Just move those over to the side. You can track your wounds here. There's a lot of little icons that you can add, but yeah, even music. Hey, look at that. The other thing is this special ruler. So I'm just going to show this one here. So if you ever want to pre-measure, you can also just use this. So you can just go and just drag this in, and you can see, okay, this is how far this is from the unit. So here, oh look, you can actually match it up. Like, okay, this from this tree is 16 inches, or sorry. So you just basically use the freeform measure to just sort of track. Okay, this Dryad King is 16.9 inches away. So yeah, and Ed, if you want to use those, you can just click on here, and it's this special meter as well.
Awesome, yeah. On that.
All right, sweet. So, with that in mind, let's go into the most important part, and that is rolling little dice. So, rolling dice are right here. You can set the dice. So, suppose for here, let's just roll to see who places the objectives first. So, I'm going to roll a D3, and then I'm going to add 2. So, I got a 3 plus 2 is 3 objectives. So I'm just going to, I think, didn't this let me clone? Perfect. Oh yeah, great. The little clone tool lets me just clone existing ones. So we have 3 objectives in this game. I forgot that there is a way that you can turn on and let both people. Oh wait, see, can you? You can't move these objectives, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. Okay, it's just our armies. Perfect.
Yeah.
They thought that. Of course, they thought that through.
Of course they thought that. The 3s are upside down on my screen, which is kind of fun, but
Yeah. We can turn it like this so that that it's confusing for both of us. There we go. Okay. So do that here. Yeah. Okay. So let's roll to see, Ed, who actually places the first one. I'm going to change this to a D6. So let's see who places. Okay, and I got a 1. So you're going to place 2 objectives.
cool.
Here.
Do we have a way to mark out like deployment zones and stuff?
You can use a great easy way from what I do is some people use it. I just use the grid. So what I'll do is I'll grab the here and I'll turn on the grid. And then you can just sort of track it. And so now you know that little button. Some people do it this way. You can also do something fancy where you can like, so here I know it's the 12 and I'm just going to grab the magic one and just move it. Boom. So I know this is the 12.
Cool, I have the grid on, so we know our deployment zones. Cool, I will place the first one. I mean, I'm Wood Elves, so I think I have to put it in a forest, don't I? I would be kind of against our whole ethos to not. So, yeah, that's my first one.
Nice. So while we're doing it, let's just show screens. Let me go and get these screenshots of our armies so people can sort of see what we've got. I'm just going to copy this. And let me get